Don't you think your candidacy is somewhat artificial?
How so?
Well, you jump in last minute as an instrument of change,
Well, I
trying
see nothing artificial in the need for change, Mark, and I see nothing artificial in the people's contempt for government all across this country, and particularly among women.
In national politics, that's certainly true, but that hasn't been felt as much in the small towns, not to the extent...
Well, I believe it should be. You know what happens when the small-town politicians go unchecked? They become big-time politicians, and then this country is suddenly struck with the kind of incompetence that we saw on our Senate Judiciary Committee during the Clarence Thomas hearings.
Dr. Brock, what is your position on abortion?
I'm pro-life and pro-choice. Personally, I don't know if I could have an abortion, but I do believe it's every woman's choice.
Have you ever performed an abortion as a doctor?
Doctor-patient privilege.
I'm not asking for any confidential information. I'm asking simply, have you performed an abortion?
And as a doctor, would you now?
I'm standing before you today as a mayoral candidate, not as a doctor. I won't speak about my medical practice, but I will say that as mayor, I would support any doctor's right
Have you ever performed an abortion? Yes or no?
I'm not going to answer that and move on.
Isn't it true you engaged in an adulterous affair with your now husband while he was still married to his first wife?
Could you answer the question, Dr. Brock?
I did not break up my husband's first marriage.
But they were still married when you began your affair.
They weren't together.
According to court records pertaining to the custody dispute over his daughter Kimberly, you and Mr. Brock were having a romantic and sexual relationship even before the separation papers were filed.
This isn't relevant.
Family values aren't relevant?
I didn't say that.
How can you be a spokesperson on family values when you knowingly participated in adultery?
Did you know a small child was involved when you began this extramarital affair?
Dr. Brock? Jimmy?
Yeah, I heard. Pulling Matthew and Zachary out of school.
Bradley Clemens gonna get Wamba and Fuga's reaction.